Hello, everyone. So, we will go into the fourth part of the cardiovascular system or heart. But before that, let's do a small practice exercise. Then we will get started with the actual fourth part of the lecture. All right. So, for example, I did tell you that the flow of heart, blood flow through heart is super important. For example, this is another practice figure, and this kind of list the steps of blood flow numerically, right? For example, one is the blood flow from superior vena cava into the right atrium. Two is from inferior vena cava to the right atrium. So three is the right atrium. Four is the valve. Then five is the right ventricle. Six is again the SL valve, the pulmonary SL valve. Then seven is into the pulmonary trunk. So that's the entire right side of the blood flow. Similarly, you can trace from eight and finish the left side of the blood flow, okay, ending in the aorta, which is number 13. So practice this thing again very well over and over. There are going to be number of questions in exam, in quiz, everywhere on this is very, very, very important and kind of sets up the basic concept of anatomy also. So, in normal heart, for which of the following structures is responsible for heart space? So, we do know there is only one area that actually, or one node that actually is called as the natural pacemaker of heart, and that is the SA node or the sinoatrial node. Now, the intrinsic conduction system of heart means how the impulse is conducted, which starting from the SA node. What's the order? So it starts from here in the SA node, then it goes into the next node, which is the AV node, number 2. The third is a bundle, which is this the atrioventricular bundle, the AV bundle, and then it branches off the right and left branch, and then finally it goes into the subendocardial conduction network fibers, which is also called as the Purkinje fibers. All right, so that's how the impulse, really the conduction system actually flows from the starting from SA node to the fibers. This is also important. Now next comes the action potential of the contractile cardiac muscle cells. So and before we even get there, a super quick recap. What's the difference between the pacemaker, I mean the SA node, and then the or this whole system, or the contractile cardiac muscle cells? Well, the difference is that the pacemaker cells or the pacemaker system, all of this whole thing, actually sets the heart rate, right? So they don't create any, they do the heart rhythm, the heart rate, but they don't have any real sarcomeres. But when, therefore, when this whole impulse is across the heart, the how will it be carried away? It has to be carried away with the help of sarcomeres or through the muscle contraction. So the muscles who is carrying forward this impulse that's being set by the pacemaker are these contractile cardiac muscle cells. So the muscles who is carrying the impulse forward from the SA system, this pacemaker cell system. Okay, so that, and these cardiac muscle cells are the actual muscle cells. So they are 99% of the heart. So they actually carry forward that impulse. So, and therefore they also carry a part of the action potential that's being generated by the pacemaker cells. So if I ask you that the plateau portion of the action potential of the contractile cardiac muscle cells is due to what? It is due to the calcium ions. So first of all, it goes really high with the help of sodium ions, and then in the contractile cardiac muscle cells goes into a plateau form with the influx of calcium ion, because this action potential is slightly slower than you have learned about in the skeletal muscle system. All right.